Looks pretty good with JDM fender flares on it. These are the ones for the Z that came from Retro Spec that took forever to come in, and they were partially the reason that I started ripping the car apart. They look interesting. I don't know. What do you think? Comment below. You think we should do some flaring? Huh? Some big wheels on it? It's been like 2 weeks, but I got this goddamn flex plate from Parts Geek. Parts Geek took forever to ship this. I don't know why it took 2 weeks. It's 2019. Everybody's spoiled with Amazon Prime. If it takes more than 2 days, then I don't want it. I should have went to CJ Pony Parts. Parts Geek had this a little bit cheaper, but CJ's would have got this thing to me in probably a day. So moral of the story and life lesson for myself is just pay the extra $20 and get it quicker, because this thing's been clogging up my damn garage. Bastard. It did give me time to do some research, and I'm trying to find a daily, but still, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Hopefully this is the right part. If it's wrong, I'm gonna lose my shit and drive to wherever Parts Geek is located and murder them. Burn the building down. Yeah, that looks about right. So you can see that this one is cracked right here. We're still gonna break this thing loose, so we're gonna get the impact. Hopefully we won't need anybody to hold the front of the crank if we just used an impact. Why does that oil pan have so many dents? The car isn't even that slammed yet. Alright, let's try to get this off. Keep going. So once you yeet your flex plate out of there, you can compare them side by side, make sure they're the same. They should be. See that thing says Ford on it. This one doesn't say Ford. All the holes line up, so we should be good. And probably should have bought a new rear main seal or whatever for the motor, but we don't even know if we're keeping this motor in. So that might just be someone else's problem at some point. There's a scrap guy that comes around. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna recycle. Put that there. All right. Let's clean the new one up a little bit and then put that on. I'm gonna put a little bit of thread locker on all the hardware too, because this is a spot that's gonna shake. Alright, use a camera you care about for this kind of thing. If you do, you're gonna mess it up. Alright, this took way too long because the flywheel can only go on one way, and also the spacer, well, washer or whatever, it can only go on one way. So that was backwards, and I had to spin the flywheel a million times to make sure it was on the right way. So make sure you mark everything, that way you can take this down and put the new one back in where it belongs. It's a good habit to do with anything really, is to mark it. But I didn't do that, and yeah, it was stupid of me. But we're good to go now. We're gonna go ahead, tighten it up. Start looking at part numbers. So after much trial and error, the transmission is back on the car. Big amateur mistake that I made was putting the torque converter on first. Apparently you want to throw the torque converter in the transmission and then throw the transmission onto the motor and tighten up the studs onto the flex plate, which I didn't know. Like I said, that was an amateur mistake on my part. I haven't messed with transmissions much, but you can see that it's on. Flex plate seems to be smooth, nothing seems to be binding up. I'm guessing it's gonna start up and be okay. Today is Saturday, I don't know what date. Didn't do anything all week because I was sick, but we're gonna wrap this thing up today and gonna try to do it as quick as possible because we got a concert to shoot later and Amanda wants to spray a bunch of her crappy parts. So let's get to it.
8 hours later.
Okay, I didn't film any of that because it's so dirty and I really don't want to get the RX 100 dirty. So I did buy a DJI action recently, so that'll help with me being dirty and working on cars. But the trans is back in. You can see that some fluid leaked out because I had the speedometer cable just kind of
out. I took it out because it was just hanging, so now I gotta clean all that up, but I think it's ready to, go. I think it's gonna hold pressure, I think. So let's throw a battery in here, see if it starts up. Hopefully the flywheel doesn't come off and chop off my feet, because that would suck. Sorry, Foxy. Gotta borrow this battery again. I'll give it back, I promise. Always disconnect your battery on your death traps while storing them for prolonged periods of time. We're gonna make sure this is in park, even though we're on jack stands. We're gonna hold our foot on the brake too. Alright, it doesn't sound like the flywheel is really hitting anything, so maybe we'll give it a go. Well, the rattling's gone, but you can hear that because it's one side on the open exhaust. It has 3 cylinders that are open. It sounds like shit. It sounds like it has a little bit of a miss. I don't know what the hell that is. Definitely ticky. It's probably low on oil. Let's turn it off. Alright. Let's kill the power. I like the sound of that door. That's a classic sound. Shit. This ain't good.